Hi guys, welcome back to Cheney's TCG store. Today I have a market watch for you. Unfortunately, I filmed about half of this when I got a work call, and so I had to drop. So I'm just gonna refilm it. It's gonna be better that way. But first, I wanted to mention, since I haven't done a market watch in a couple of days, I think the last one I did was not, I guess, Sunday. So what we'll do is I'm gonna do a very long market watch. I'm gonna try to focus towards meta towards the front, and then do some more niche like collectible stuff towards the end. So if you're a meta player, you can hang on and then jump off whenever you want to. I did want to note before we started as well, we are at 169 subscribers now, which is awesome. Thanks to you guys for supporting me and subscribing and continue to watch and like my videos. Definitely means a lot and helps motivate me to make more content. But with that aside, let's go ahead and get into the market watch. First, I wanted to go over Secret Slayers. We're going to skip Eldlik and stuff like that. But that is also moving up because it missed the ban list. But I wanted to specifically highlight the plant stuff that is moving up in price. First is Teardrop, the Rika Queen. Starting off here at $50 for light plate first edition, going up to 65 for near mint. These were almost near 80 yesterday, and I think, yeah, it was yesterday, which is absolutely insane. If you have these, I would just offload them. It's not worth keeping for that price because these will eventually get reprinted at some point. And so unless you're playing it and you really, really want to play it, just get rid of it. It doesn't make sense to hold on to. Snowdrop is 950 going up to 18. This was also like 20 to 25 yesterday, maybe slightly higher for a few minutes, but it's down to 16 listings. I would also offload these. I mean, it's a super rare. I sold mine. I had a play set of these. It's just not worth it. I will say Researcher at $11 is really, really good. If you wanted to pick these up, now's the time. And then lastly is Rika Glamour at 676. These didn't get affected too much. These went up from like $5 to $7. So if you wanted these, I mean, I don't think that they're necessarily overpriced, but I don't think that Rikas are really going to do anything. I know that people are wanting to play plant stuff with Therion, so I'm not exactly sure how the Rika stuff like kind of fits in there, but I'd be interested to find out. I think that's pretty much everything though that I wanted to cover in here. We'll move on to dual overload. So Selene is going up. It was like 27 a couple of days ago, but now it's up to 34 and for one listing, and then we move up to 38 after that. So something to keep your eye on. Who knows when we'll get a reprint for this? It could be this year. It could be, a couple of years. We have no idea. So hopefully they'll reprint this soon. Imperm at 15, not too bad. Hulk at 6. I will say if you were like considering getting this versus the reprint, I don't think value-wise there's going to be a big difference as far as like an investment. But with that said, the coloring is a lot better on the dual overload version, and the reprint kind of looks a little cheap, like they didn't use too much ink in the printing, so that was a little bit disappointing. Verte at 7. You might want to sell any extra copies that you have that you didn't get a chance to sell right after the ban list. It's not really worth holding on to at this point. It's freshly banned. You want to like wait like a month for these to kind of bottom out to nothing, and then pick them up for a couple bucks. Dingirsu, $7. That's starting to move up a little bit. And then Artifact Dagda is actually up to $8.50, up from about $5 to $6. Because there's actually a really cool combo, and we're gonna talk about this card, but if you have TG Wonder Magician, you can go Hulk into TG Wonder Magician on your opponent's turn and basically scythe lock your opponent with, if you have Artifact Dagda, and then you can go into a Baronet of Floor right afterwards, all on your opponent's turn, which is really, really cool. So I think that's why this is seeing some speculation, but you might want to pick this up. It might not move up too much more from here, but if it gets to be a popular combo, this could be easily a $12 to $15 card. So just keep that in mind. Zeke's still maintaining at 5, and Union Carry is actually moving up here to like $5. I think these bottomed out towards like $2.50 or $3 after the ban, but this is also a card you should probably just have in general. I do think that there's one more card I wanted to go over in here. I think it's Parshath because it's so low in value. Ballista is $5. Wow. Infinities. Why are Infinities so expensive? That's crazy. Oh, Yugioh Uno also is like $6. And I know I have this somewhere, but I looked for so long yesterday and I couldn't find it in my zombie deck or anywhere else. So I continue looking for this card because I do want to offload it while it's worth something. Sign Up Mining at 5. Also a good card to have. If you want to go get the secret rare, I think those aren't like much more expensive. They're maybe double the cost, like maybe $12. Something great to have long term. Why are these Blue Eyes prints $5? That's ridiculous. I have these somewhere. I might have thrown them away though, but I used to have a bunch of these. But it's not even worth selling because then you have to ship like a big ass piece of paper basically. Condemned Dark Lord, $4. Parshath at $4. I was gonna say if you have Celestial Night Lord Parshath, you might want to sell off some extra copies. Maybe keep like one just in case, but I think it's just due to agent support most likely. But I would just get rid of them. That's free money. These were not short printed either, so at least I don't think so because I had a few of them when I looked yesterday. Phantasme. So the secret rares are down to like $25 for like lightly played first edition, and then like the near mints are like 28. If you were looking to get these or you had them on your radar, like now might not be the worst time to grab them. Personally, I think the ultra rare is not bad either. I bought a playset of these not long ago for around $4. So they're actually gone down quite a bit since then. So if you want them, $2.40, I just don't think they're going to get cheaper than that, even though they're not going to see play for quite a while. But they will eventually come back. You know, they always will. Next, I want to talk about Punk. Sorry, I was kind of like not scrolled all the way up because this is the second time that I'm filming this. So the actual collector rares have floated down, but we've talked about most of this recently. So I'm going to like kind of skip going in depth about this and then only cover the newest update. But Foxytune's still 20, Deer Note's still 10, and the newest update is actually Ogre Dance. Coming in around 7. Ooh, this listing just popped up for $269. Come grab it. Like I would maybe get all of these. I'll let you guys have this one, but you could easily resell these for $6 or $7. You know, still a risk that you'll have to take, obviously, but if you want to do it, these quickly go up to $7 to $8. So just wanted to point that out. Z almonds are also going for around $1.50 for near mints, which is pretty crazy for a super rare, and that's majority of everything else that's moving in this set, or not in this set, but for this archetype. Okay, I'm a little backed up here, but Red Rose Dragon, we'll look up the original print, but since we're here, I'll just go ahead and say my piece on what I was saying on this version. If you wanted to get like an ultra rare version, if you just get the colored ultra rares, they don't look as good, of course, but they're very, very cheap compared to just the ultra rare. They're around $2.50 here. And the reason why I pulled that up is because people are still playing this even at 1, because you can just summon it off Hauka Fibrax. But the ultra rares surprisingly are going for $6.30, which is kind of above the market price and kind of above where they were when this was at 3. So I don't really understand why that's happening, but it seems a little crazy to me. Next, I wanted to touch on Emergency Teleport. Because we got that rare reprint, a lot of these copies are pretty cheap right now. The secret rare still has a market price of 20. We'll take a look. This isn't like my favorite version, but it does look quite nice. It is going for $20 or $24 really with shipping. Not bad. Surprisingly, that's kind of the same price it was at when it was at 1 copy, but my recommended version is going to be the Duelist Genesis Ultra Rare, which is your original print. Around $15 for light play first edition, and you can get 3 copies here. And then to be honest with you, on TCG Player, like a lot of times the near mints are kind of like lightly played, especially for something old. And actually it's the opposite on new sets. Like if it's a newer set and it says light played, a lot of times it's just near mint, maybe like a scratch or 2, but like nothing big. But yeah, I think light play first edition is fine. If you want to go near mint, I think it's only like a couple more dollars, so it's not that big of a deal. It's up to you. I think I bought mine near mint, but I bought mine near mint when it was like $8, like right after we got the reprint, the rare reprint, or the ultra rare reprint. I can't remember, but it was pretty cheap. $23 here, and I don't recommend getting from Dabbers. They're usually not near mint, so I would go with somebody else. Even though they have good ratings, they just, I don't know. I've not had good experiences with the quality of the cards. But that's pretty much all. I will want to note as well, we'll just go back to emergency teleports. The other ultra rares are fine as well if that's just what you want to play. Like they're around $5 each. But the rare is actually a good penny stock to pick up, like, you know, like 8 to 10 of for, you know, probably $4 or $5. Because they're like 43 cents, and there's a lot of decks that are actually running this. So like if you're playing the Punk Engine, you're playing 3 of these. If you're playing Virtual World, you're playing 3 of these. And even Phantom Knights, you'd probably still play 2 or 3 of these. So I would just get them, honestly. It's kind of a low risk for high return there. Not like high return though. Like these are probably going to end up being like $2 to $3, but it's just kind of an easy investment choice. Moving on, Crusadia Arborea is going for around $2.25 for late play first edition here for the super rare, and then the common is 20 cents. I would pick these up because you still have that really cool interaction where you can go Sangan into Almirage into, and then you can search Arborea and then special summon this from your hand and then make your Hulk and then just do your Hulk plays. But if you don't need your normal summon, that's actually really good. And you can actually still play the adventure token stuff because you don't really need to activate a normal summon effect. So pretty cool there. But I would maybe have a couple of these. I need to order my super rares. I still have commons. I'm not gonna go crazy on the super rares, but I just want to get one to play, one to sell, which is always good if you're not completely sure on a card. You don't want to like go all in on it. But it is pretty low risk at the $2 range. I think it always see some play. It's just an easy access tuner, which is good. Link Cross, since we're talking about some of the other ban cards like Union Carry, I just want to mention that you can get these for like $1.50 right now. I would maybe have a playset of these. You know, it's a relatively low investment, like $5-6 for a playset, and this has high potential to see a lot of speculation on future ban lists. And who knows, Konami with, you know, Rordon gone, they might release this off the ban list. So I think it's a terrible idea, but they could do it. It seems like they'll probably try it at some point. I don't think that they'll keep anything on the ban list forever without trying it. Like even Imperial Order, they took it off. They tried it. It didn't work, so they had to reban it. Max C. All right, I'm already clicked into the secret rares because I already went over this when I filmed it originally, but first editions are going for $180, which is crazy. All versions are still up in price even after the ban list, but if you have them, you don't really necessarily have to sell them right now. If you have the secret rares, you might want to consider it at that price. I would just be more comfortable like buying them at $100. But they might not ever go back down to that price. But really, all of the copies, like even the ultra rares, are 40. Super rares are 25, and the gold rares are like 18 to 20. And even the commons are $20, which is crazy. I do think this will come down a little bit, but I don't think we'll ever come back into that era where like after the ban list, Max C would go back to $5 to $8. Because now we have alternative formats playing this. And then if you just wanted to like build a deck based on the Master Duel format, you can play this. So it might not ever go back down, but just this is a card I always say to keep an eye on. Because if you can pick up any of these like hollow versions for like 10 to $15, it's just super easy money because you can most likely sell them for 22 to 25 when it gets close to ban list season. But just something to keep your mind on, or your eye on rather. TG Wonder Magician, like I said, we'll go over this. Lightly played first edition secret at 17. These are like pretty bought up to $28 here. The secret rares were like not long ago, like $3 to $4. Super cheap. Even the ultimate rares were like 15 to $20, just really, really cheap. The ultra rare original print is $5 for first edition. That's not bad. I personally have the Battles of Legend print, which is $1.78. It's just super cheap. I actually got this at the time. It was like 20 cents, and I just asked for it as a throw in on a trade at locals. Yeah, I would just make sure you have at least one version to play with if you wanted to, because if this takes off, like these hollow versions could all go up quite a bit because these are all pretty old here. But we will take a look actually at the ultimate rare now that we're here. Wonder Magician Ultimate Rare. I bet these are probably to the moon. Oh, wow. So yeah, if you look at, let's look at the price point for a year. Unlims were 12, first edition was 28. Near mint unlimited 60. Oh, wow. So if you invest into these a long time ago, you did quite well. And then lightly played first, 73. Honestly, seeing that, you're better off just going ahead and trying to sell your near mint unlimited for 60 and just trying to pick up a light play first edition. Because that's a very small like difference in price point there. And this is quite old from Extreme Victory. Extreme Victory actually had a really nice looking ultimate rares. So quite nice card. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. I'm gonna reload this real quick. We talked about this not long ago, but has been getting a lot of attention here. Only 11 listings left. So it goes from 250 here up to around $5. And when I told you to pick them up, they were around 90 cents. And they're going to bottom out here to $6 or $7. And these are selling. And you can see here, it's, you know, it went from 80 cents to $1 for Unlimited or first edition, up to almost $2 here. And I think this will continue to go up. This card's really, really good, especially with the Punk engine with like Halqifibrax and stuff. It's basically like putting Zexal on board. Like your opponents cannot activate effects, which is devastating. So you might want to get these before it's too late, especially since there's still, you know, some cheaper copies here. There's no stacks available. So literally one person could come in here and just knock these out. So hopefully you got yours when I talked about them for super cheap. It was like the penny stock of the month pretty much. Hulk, the Ultimate Rares are 78 here, and then the Ultra Rares are 6 from Dual Overload. We kind of talked about that already. But the Ghost from the Past is $4, which is kind of going up a little bit, but not too much. Just make sure you have 1 or 2 copies for yourself, because I do think that we'll end up seeing some kind of Punk deck running around. You can actually play Punk Therion, which is actually pretty good, and I'm trying to play around with it. I'm not going to actually pick up the Therion stuff. To me, it's just not worth the price point, especially since I can just play something like Branded for around the same price, which is proven to be better. So far, things could change. You never know. But for now, I'm going to stick with Branded. Next, so we're kind of coming out of the meta stuff now. I'm going to talk about, this is a banless card, but then we're going to kind of go into kind of more collectible cards. But first is Vanity's Emptiness. Secret rares here are $15 to $18 for light play first edition. There's only 25 listings. I think this is a great card to have long term. And hopefully you like picked up the super rares and stuff when they were cheaper. I think this has always been 15 plus for like as long as I can remember. Maybe a while back before I knew about this card, it was cheaper, but it's been expensive for a long time. Even the commons from Star Strike Blast are $3. But if you're not going to get the secret rare, just skip Star Strike Blast and get the Secret Forces Super for $2. Still not bad. I was able to get mine for 70 cents a couple of years ago. I've just been holding on to them. But $2 is still not too bad. If this card ever comes off the ban list, you know, these will probably be pretty similar in price, honestly, because it's just people will get whatever they can get their hands on. But if things just slowly move up, I kind of feel like the super rare should surpass the common. I don't know why you would want to play this over the super rare, even though this is the original print. But just something to keep your eye on. Next is going to be Herald of the Orange Light. So the ultimate rare, I guess this is kind of meta related, but the ultimate rare is almost out of listings here. It's at $150. If you have these, sell them, because this really is not going to do anything unless we get Eva back. There's just, this card's not good. So just get rid of it. It was like 38 to 40 bucks not long ago, like maybe a few months ago. So it's crazy to see this back up here. But even in these other versions, I would just get rid of any copy you have because they're all worth like $8 to $9 right now. Lone Fire Blossom, since plant stuff is getting like some hype, I just wanted to take a look at these. So these are $270 for the champion pack super rare, going up to like $300 to $350 for near mints. Gold rares at $2. I would stay away from that version, honestly. The super rare from Advent Calendar is $1.13. Not too bad. Phantom Darkness rares, $1.50 for near mint unlimited. I imagine the first editions were more expensive, but I don't really care about a rare. Commons, $1.20. Secret Slayer super rare is around $1. And the Mystic Fighter super rare is around 70 cents here. I think either of these versions is fine. You might just want to go with the advent calendar though for the price, because they're around the same price anyways. These are around $1.13, so you might just want to go for that if you can get like a play set, but not a bad card to have. Just like a Foolish Burial basically for the plant archetype, I believe. I haven't read this card in a while. Let me look real quick. Tribute 1 face up plant monster, special summon 1 plant monster from the deck. I was completely wrong. It's not a Foolish Burial. So pretty good. Honestly, just gives you access to any plant monster. Super good, really. Especially if I'm surprised this hasn't gotten more buyouts with the plant stuff. Flunderies. Just wanted to note that these are starting to go up quite a bit. Just the archetype and as a whole, not I don't know, maybe not quite a bit. There's more, I would say more of that. The cards in this archetype are starting to get lower on listings. Mainly like the Fluenderies and Advent of Adventure is like down to 83 listings when it was around 104, 105 listings around ban list time, and it was around $10 or $11 right after the ban list for a copy of this, but now it's like 13 going up to 14.50 if you wanted to get a play set. So it's just something to keep your eye on, because I just still think this deck is super powerful and will continue to be pretty competitive. Impins are up from like $8 to $10 here, but down to 83 listings. But keep in mind, this is kind of has a cap over its head, which is this ultra rare. So until this ultra rare can move up to like 30, like it's going to be hard for Impin to do as much. I'm less bullish on Impin than I am with Advent of Adventure, because this does have a reprint coming, and it basically does kind of have a reprint. There's 2 versions, and the ultra rare is technically higher rarity. Flunderies, $2.55 here. It's pretty cheap actually. Moving up to $3.50. Snow Owl is like $1, which is kind of interesting. It might be moving up a little bit. But the other interesting thing is all these super rares are all $1 or more as well, which is crazy. Well, the monsters at least, not the spell card here. But I don't know. I just wanted to point out Flunderies and kind of something to keep your eye on. And it's definitely still a very budget deck. Like probably the best budget deck on the market right now. Debunk, wanted to quickly highlight, only 30 listings here, but it's like $4.20. I'll always advocate for this card. I just think that it's got a lot of potential, but besides the potential, it's a very cool looking card from Legendary Collection 5Ds, which gets a lot of buyouts all the time. And I think it's great to have in your collection if you don't even really care about playing it, at least have a copy or 2. I don't think it's a bad idea to invest maybe a little bit to this card. Maybe just, have a couple of copies. I personally have, I think maybe 4 or 5 copies of it. But I paid a lot more for it. I paid like $7 each, which is unfortunate that it's down in price, but it is what it is. I'm not too sad about it, because I'm okay with holding this for a long time. I'll probably keep at least a playset for myself, and I think maybe I have 2 playsets. I'm trying to remember, but I think I do have 2 playsets actually. I'll probably sell one, keep one. But it could be years before I see a return, so we'll have to see on that. Next, I wanted to cover Reborn Tengu. The ultra rares were quite expensive for quite a while, not long ago, like a couple years ago. But the ultra rares are down to like $3.50 for light play limited, going up to like $4.50 for near mint. If you haven't seen these ultra rares, they look really good. The lettering just looks really good from this era. I thought this is back when ultra rares looked pretty good. They didn't look like cheap mass print, because they weren't really. But just a good card to have, especially since the super rare, which is from the same set, is like $2.26. You're just better off going with the ultra rare for this price. But if you wanted a meta application, you could play this at like 3 copies in a Tri Brigade deck, because you can special summon it from your hand with your Baron Blossom, and then just link it off, and then it's going to continue to special summon. other copies of itself from the deck, which is pretty good. You can just link climb that way. But it's also used in other formats, I believe. I'm not sure exactly which ones, like maybe like the plant synchro format, but I could be completely wrong. I was not around during that time, so I couldn't tell you for sure. But I just think it's a great card to get at this price. I would stay away from commons, so it's not worth it. Next is Mechanical Chaser. So if you didn't know, this card was really, really good back in the early day of Yu-Gi-Oh! And it doesn't have that many holo prints. So aside from Tournament Pack 1, which is, let's just face it, you're not going to get this card. There's not even like a near mint available, I don't think. I think probably if you have a near mint, you would just get it PSA'd. But let's see, moderately played 1600, lightly played 1800, and going up to 2100 here. There's just not a near mint here. Probably because if you're selling a $2,000 card for near mint, it better be near mint. But the super rares, not as bad. It's also from a tournament pack 3. I think it's, see, 120 for light play unlimited, near mint 170. If you're going to get a version, I would just go with the light play for the 120. Not a bad version to get, but honestly, if you just wanted to have a holo version, there is another option here. You can get the Legendary Collection 3 Yugioh's World, which is also quite old at this point. And these are going for $4 for lightly played unlimited, around 5 to 6 for near mint. I think it's a good version to get. It's ultra rare, quite old, and the only holo version of this card other than the ones that are absolutely way too expensive. Except for the super rare isn't that bad. It's still pretty expensive for what it is. But I think it's a good long-term card to have. And I doubt we'll see any kind of holo reprints of this anytime soon. Next, I just wanted to glance over DD Crow. As far as prices, yeah, the prices have gone up, but the main thing to note here is the listings. There's only 12 for the dual terminal, only 2 on the speed duel. There's 36 for the ultra rare dual devastator, and these are up in price quite a bit, $5 to $6, up from the $2.50 when I told you to grab them like a few weeks ago. The Legendary Collection Kaiba down to 17 listings, starting at $7. Even the Turbo Pack Common is 6 listings left with $5 each, going up to 9, which is absolutely insane, really. Legendary Collection 2 Super Rare, 8 listings, $7. These were like $2 to $3 when I mentioned them. Speed Duel Commons, $5, 5 listings, 4 listings for OTS Tournament Pack 3, $5. 10 on the Yellow Pack Super Rare, $8 to $9, maybe $10. And then Strike of Neos rares are, starting at $5 for unlimited, which is crazy. So if you wanted to get them, basically the only one that's really worth getting at this point is Dual Devastator, at this $4.70. But this is kind of crazy. I wonder why people are speculating so much on DD Crow. I mean, it's a great card to have in general, like all hand traps are, but that's quite expensive for DD Crow when there's not like a specific function that I can think of. It's still not a bad card. It's always a decent card. It's never high impact, except for if you could get rid of a DPE, which is just not a problem right now. But very interesting. If you know why this card's getting bought out, let me know. I mean, other than people just speculating, hand traps in general are always just good value. But that's mostly everything that I have for you today. Thanks for joining in. Tim, I will have your card shipped out to you tomorrow. I'm making a big mail run tomorrow, but we've got it all sealed up, ready to go. So I will give you your tracking number tomorrow. But thanks for your order, by the way, for that. That was super awesome. And then also wanted to shout out the White Mexican, because we made a trade for some cards, and I got a Dark Beginning 1 ultra rare Change of Heart from him, which looks super awesome. And I also got a Turbo Pack 6 Sangan ultra rare, which looks amazing as well. Super stoked on these. I have been wanting both of these, but Change of Heart got a little bit ridiculous, so I'm glad we can make a trade. But thanks for watching, everybody. I will catch you in the next video. Bye.